LAOTN Adventures of number 16. It's a series I made back in around June time 2016. That's when it first properly started. All because of my, I think, my most favourite character at the time, 16 from the Railway series. I think it all started because, I was generally bored at a pub and I had 16 Thomas and Gordon Ertles just to play with at that pub. Just because. And I thought 16 would be such a random character to have his own series to sort of mock other things that were happening around the time and just to have a silly series to talk about current topics. That's what it became, most of the time. It ended about a year ago. By the time this video is going up, I'm filming this on a Monday, so I've got to quickly get this video all sorted. But I also got Cardboard 16 that I could put here, but he's in the box over there. And one day, if I feel very creative, I want to rebuild him or build a new one, because that one's a bit knackered. Unfortunately, because I've left this video for so long and I realised I need to celebrate the anniversary, and I only just realised I could make a video about it today, I haven't got anything planned. So instead, we're gonna shift Goodfellow 16 to the side for the moment, and they could go along with... Oh, there's technically one more 16, and that's Magnum here, who is my austerity tank character, Loco, for my fictional bootleg Farquhar layout I want to build in the future. This used to be 16 once upon a time, but then I rebuilt it into a different Loco. Maybe one day if I get really fed up with this livery, I might actually just repaint him as 16. I mean, I've got an Ertl face for him, so if I want to do that, then, you know, I mean, I make the best 16 customs ever, and everyone knows that. But you move over to the side here, mate, and let's talk about something slightly related to LAOTN Adventures. It's TJA related, you know, Finale Adventures. Motherfucking Chuggington. So, I need to move these out of the way actually, because they're going to be blocking the road. You guys sit. Oh, I got one more 16. I keep forgetting. Inbox 16 I opened for some reason just to feel how new he is. And I've also just remembered there's another 16 up here. Fucking hell. Right, come on. Let's get on with this video. So, back around in 2018, I was having a wander in my garden while I was making a new series called Finale Adventures, which was like, the fourth iteration of LAOTN Adventures number 16. It was a big crossover series. Well, it ended up being a crossover series in the end, because it included characters from Chuggington OCs, and a bit of Underground Ernie, along with original Thomas characters even. But yeah, I was in my garden, I found my old die-cast Brewster that was in the dirt, and I think I've left him under the bed now because I've repainted him into something else. But hang on. Look, here's me old Chuggington real life customs from like 2018, 2019. God, my customs were so beautiful back then. Like, look, here's the original Brewster that joined TJ and changed everything about it. And then here's a new one I've done recently. It's like chalk and cheese, to be honest. Here's a spare Brewster, I think was one of Brewster's siblings in the series. Bruno, I think, or Barney. One of them was a police Deltic, because I liked the idea of the police livery and I took it too seriously, rather than it being a joke livery. But there we are, that was a spare Brewster. I think I've had a car boot. I've only paint stripped it recently and I've repainted it into a BR Blue. This is a proper shade of BR Blue from Phoenix Precision. All hand painted and clear coated with matte clear coat. Here's my original, which is a dark blue. You could see no transfers. Nameplate's done with Sharpie and then got smeared with the clear coat, which was actually brushed on gloss enamel. But his nameplate's actually a headboard on the front there. But there we are. There they are. Then I got a chilly ass Brewster, coupled up to a wagon someone, Joe, sent me. So there's that. But now we've got one more Brewster to join the fleet. And this looks to be one of the... I'm not going to use this fucking thing as like a prop. This looks to be one of these... Well, Chuggington recently had a revival. Because it went under a new brand. Yeah, that one. I can't even pronounce that. Because I'm a bit ignorant. But they've produced a lot of new toys. I think they plan to make some minis sort of things. There was other toys, I remember. I think the diecast range did come back, sort of. I remember seeing them, and there was like these action feature ones where like Wilson looked left and right like a Bachman Thomas toy. Or even a Bachman Chuggington one. Did the Bachman Chuggington characters move their eyes? I can't remember. I want one of those though. Coco did something else, and I know Brewster, he used that big old jaw to start chomping or something. If you pressed the horns on the roofs. And then you got old mate Action Thomas, but in brown. But yeah, it's such a shame with this new Chuggington series, because I don't know if the... Hey guys, Ryan from the editing stage here. What I meant to say was, before I had a brain fart, was that it's pretty much a shame how the new Chuggington has sort of died in the water. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So enjoy this crummy video. I won't lie, in this current day, we've treated Chuggington poorly. Well, back then we did, because we were spoilt with Thomas, and now Thomas has gone down the shitter with the reboot. I still don't like it. No. And honestly, Chuggington's a bit more close to the real railways than Thomas can be right now. So, there we are. But yeah. Actually, do you want to see my version of Brewster before you unbox this? Here is my headcanon Brewster for my upcoming Thomas series I want to make at some point, but there we are. He hasn't got a face yet, and I don't know if I will give him a face, but this is Brewster. I think all I need to do... I want to do some chalk lettering with his name on one of the cabs or something as like an unofficial depot name. But he is numbered 55023, which is not an actual real Deltic number because they only made 22 of them, or they only went up to 22. So that gives me a reason to have a fake Deltic. But there's Brewster. I imagine I'll give him a yellow face or something, but I need to incorporate like his big looking nose. Because if you look at the character, the headlights, they kind of look like a big snout, you know? So he's got to have like a big nose. But let's open that goddamn toy. So, like every good person, we look at the instructions. Oh my god, what are this? What is this? I meant, it's Yap Central. What the hell is all this? What's on the other side? Ah, there we go. Sorry about the flickering light. Let's move out of the way. So, unscrew his arse. Put 2 AAA batteries in. You can get those cheaply at Poundland. We don't have a Poundland in town anymore. Touch once to move, touch again to stop. Yep. So it's just a motorised Brewster. So let's look at the toy. I find him quite funny. He looks like a goddamn truck, you know? Or a bus. These big wheels and... Well, the coupling's pretty good. Looks strong. It's one of those ball connectors, so let's get the other Brewster. And then... Oh, there we go, that's a bit tight. So there we are, he couples up. I'll get some used to. It's an okay toy. I don't see where the button is though. Is it just like touch sensor? Oh my god, look at his front. Look at that big ass chin. Like, look at him normally here, he's sort of like, yeah, but then here, he's... I know what I need to do. Brewster's been mewing. This is like my Chuckington Continued episode. Dunbar teaches Brewster about mewing, and then we've got my OC Switchy over here. You haven't seen Switchy before, I don't think. He might have appeared in TJ, but he's a Chuckingtonified Class 08. I don't know what his personality was, or is, or anything. He was just made for fun, so there we are. Alright, we chuggers, today we'll be learning about mewing. Okay, so I've put the batteries in. Stop! I put some cheap batteries in. Will you stop? Some cheap batteries into Brewster, cheap Codex from Poundland. So there's an on-off switch on the bottom. Switch it on. I just touch him and he goes. That's so cool. That's clever. I'm easily amused. Oh, shit. In my room, I be my cup, let it in my sock. When I don't love, would you let her knock? When I be my cup. And for no one asking, does he run on Tommy track? Oh, somewhat. So it looks like he's got this big gear here, but it's all-wheel driven. So I don't know much about this, but I imagine there might be a play set or something that has helixes and inclines and stuff. I don't know. That's probably what it is, and that gear there is for going on a bit of a rack and pinion bit of track to go uphill. So, clever toy. It's just, my man's mewing. So there we are. There's my 1 year anniversary of the LAOTN16 Finale. I'll link it in the description if you want to watch it again. I know it wasn't the best, and it was, I guess, a little bit rushed and not really thought out, but I couldn't really think of anything to do for a last finale episode. So there we are. We may come back to LAOTN someday. I would like to go back to something with 16, because after all, he is a character from my childhood. Because I grew up with Arse Over Cab, a classic video by Henry Blue, and another video a bit more obscure. I think it's called 16 Disaster. It's with an Ertl 16, a custom Tommy Wilbert, a Tommy log car, a bit of unsuspended track over a kitchen island and a countertop, and 16 going over that track, and then the bridge falls and he goes crash on the floor. But that's why I always loved 16. I don't know why. It's just sort of the me on the spectrum. Just really likes this character. And it just sort of became my personality before I departed from the Thomas fandom, because that place is absolute garbage. And I feel like I've become a better person, to be honest, without it. Truth be told, don't bother joining the fandom, especially Twitter. Well, you could join the fandom, but don't go on Twitter. Even if it is the main hub, just don't go on there, because although it's got everything you want on there, it's a fucking shit show. No one learns from their mistakes, and everyone's just a twat on there. They're no good. It's not good for your mental health, is all I'm going to say. But there we are. Right. What the hell am I going to do now? Bruh, momentum.
Hey guys, today we'll be playing with Trackmaster 2 for the first time. Shit. Okay, that works. He fucking derailed!